India is the diabetics capital. Normal अगर हमने nail काटा और diabetic patient को उससे जख्म हो गया, तो you can't even imagine that वो एक छोटा सा जख्म can become a gangrene.
What do you think has been the hardest part?
Winning doctors' trust. This is the thing which any kind of marketing can't solve for us.
A doctor cannot be like an influencer or an actor who will sell you one product and then at the drop of hat he's ready to sell you another product.
We are 100 plus people organization working in almost over 20 cities, whether it is Apollo, Max, Vedanta, NH, Manipal, Esther.
आज हमें जैसे बूंद हो जाए तो हम ये समझते हैं कि उस पर डेटॉल लगाओ, कॉटन बांधो और उसको छोड़ दो, ठीक हो जाएगा. How is your solution different and how does it work?
जो NPWT है, negative pressure wound therapy, it is kind of a mechanical dressing which is creating a suction. और वो जो पस है उसको मैकेनिकली सक कर रही है. सो इट इज ऑलमोस्ट 10x फास्टर देन पुटिंग ए नॉर्मल ड्रेस.
So today we are meeting Mr. Tarun Bansal from MedVital. He's the co-founder of this brand and we're going to learn his journey and we're going to talk to him about what is he building. Hi Tarun.
Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure to meet you here.
Absolutely.
Let's start by knowing who Tarun is and what's your story.
I spent time in public sector but significantly on the private sector as well.
Okay.
Covering consulting and also startup. Primarily focusing on healthcare as a sector. I wanted to be as an entrepreneur always, and that's the reason I did my formal business education.
Okay.
But I just took some time to, get that confidence, get that frameworks. Me being actually an entrepreneur.
So you studied at IIT Roorkee and then you went to ISB.
Yeah.
That's probably some of the best education one can get in India, right? So where all did you work after you finished your education?
Yeah. So post IIT Roorkee, I had options of either going for higher studies or join job market. I got admit in one of the premier institutes in US as well, but I chose to be on taking the experience side, join oil and gas in the public sector.
Okay.
But after
you joined public sector?
Yeah, I was in ONGC.
Okay.
But after 5 years, I felt that the impact could be more if, I do something else.
Okay.
I did my business education from ISB and then consciously switched to healthcare.
Okay.
Into Apollo hospitals to to learn healthcare from Apollo, what could be better, right?
Yeah.
Wanted to go deep in healthcare. Joined ENY Healthcare Consulting. Again, work with the corporate who's who of Indian healthcare, solving their tough CXO level problems. Kind of looked at these problems from very very closely from the CXO's boardroom issues. And kind of convinced that some of those issues can actually be solved by consolidation of costs or something of that sort.
Okay.
And got chance to join as a founding team member at Pristyn Care.
Okay.
It was a startup back then and backed by Sequoia Capital.
Okay.
As a senior leader, worked there a little over 5 years, building the entire network of hospital partners and leading their operations.
Okay.
And once, as I told, I felt prepared to be something build of my own. I take a switch, I take a step to start my own. Yeah.
But सबसे पहले मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि ये IIT के बाद टेक की एजुकेशन लिया आपने, फिर मैनेजमेंट की एजुकेशन ली. आपका हेल्थ केयर में इंटरेस्ट कैसे पैदा हुआ? इज देयर एन इंस्टेंस? व्हाई डिड यू फील दैट आई शुड लिविंग ONGC? इंडिया में गवर्नमेंट जॉब में अगर कोई है वो भी ONGC जैसी जगह पर आप काम कर रहे थे, उसको छोड़ के आप हेल्थ केयर में गए, तो क्या कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट हुआ था जिसने आपको मूव किया कि आई हैव टू really go there?
No, actually, I did my engineering from civil, and how the education is built into IIT. I have always been fascinated by criticality of the problem, and also the tangibility of it and the impact it creates. Right now, ONGC was a perfect place for me because it requires a lot of tangibility. You are on ground working with something which creates some kind of impact, right?
Oil, natural gas.
Absolutely, right. I was in the interiors of southern part of the country, probably unheard places where
Okay.
going in the villages at times, vacating the villages because of such kind of instances, making the site for exploration inside the pond
Acha.
in a farmland where accessibility is not there. So we will have to make the site accessible from the road up till the pond level, right?
Acha.
So all this was quite exciting when you are young, but as time progresses, you tend to, at least I tend to see that what impact is there, anything I can create more impact,
Acha.
is what pushed me. But honestly speaking, I was absolutely open after my business education, exploring things, what to where to go.
Acha.
And healthcare was, I would say, one choice that I consciously took because it matches with my core of the problem being substantial, the problem being impactful, and for me as a non-medico person, can I solve some issues like inefficiencies? Can I solve something which can create impact on human lives? That's the reason, honestly speaking, that I chose to be in healthcare.
Okay. So Pristyn Care mein you were one of the founding members?
I was the founding member, yes.
You were the founding member. So what happened after that? You were already doing it there in Pristyn Care, right? You were bringing change, then
Yes.
leaving that and then doing with the new company, which we'll talk about a little later.
Yeah.
What was the cause behind it? So Pristyn Care is doing well, right? Even today it's doing well.
It's doing well. Two reasons for me why I decided this. One reason, of course, being a founding member and a founder, you
Farak hai.
always need a step jump in your
Yeah.
in your career, right? You always progresses. That's one reason. And second reason is that Pristyn, see, when I joined, it was 10-20 people organization probably, and you have seen the ups and downs, the peaks, the complete journey
Yeah.
of a startup becoming an organization. It became
Yes.
from where I joined to a unicorn, right? And then sustaining the unicorn status and continuing the services was something that you need to be. And I learned how to make all the playbooks, how to scale the operations infinitely seamlessly, right? And the eventual course of progression for me, that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and that's why.
Great. So now let's talk a little bit about your current company, which is MedVital.
Yeah.
So what all is happening at MedVital?
So at MedVital, we are focusing on regenerative skin medical technologies.
Okay.
Okay. Primarily focusing on advanced wound care,
Okay.
skin restoration, hair restoration, and chronic dermatology.
Okay.
We have innovative products across these important focus areas, which we provide to doctors and caretakers, and we heal the wound much faster, and we ensure that the skin rejuvenates, because there are two problem statements if you see in these categories. One is the desperate need, someone having chronic wound, infected wound, open wound, which is not healing, hard to heal, complex wound. So we have technologies to take care of that. On the second side of it, people want to look young, people want to look healthy, right? So we have products taking care of the aesthetics part of it, cosmetics part of it,
Okay.
with organ remaining the same. Skin is the organ, which is the focus organ in throughout the problem statements we are taking care of.
Okay. So who else is there with you in MedVital?
So along with me, one of my friend, Dr. Varun Gupta, he's a
Okay.
medical doctor
Okay.
who did his MD pharmacology. Very illustrious background, I must say that he started his journey as a faculty with Maulana Azad Medical College. Then he was there for a while at Xavier's, leading their Southeast Asia digital business. And then he became the founding team member at 1mg.
Okay.
And started his journey when 1mg was not even named 1mg. From that time, I'm saying. And spent significant amount of time, little over 8 years, and after Tata acquisition, he left to join Max Group, but the other part of Max, Senior Living Care, where he built Max Antara, which is their D2C brand, and from there he took an exit to start MedVital, and I took an exit from Pristyn Care, and that's how we started.
So that's interesting. You guys met at Pristyn Care, and then
Yeah.
you exited, he exited, and then you had your journeys, and then you came back again to solve something.
Yes.
But how did you guys decide that wound care plus this cosmetic aspect is what we're going to solve?
I think very, very good question. I mean, we did not arrive honestly at this directly, right? It took us good amount of time to arrive at that.
Yeah.
We have explored a lot of white spaces in healthcare, and from gut health to anti-smoking, blah, blah, blah. We did a lot of research. We are data-backed people, completely, I would say, not taking the decisions by emotions, but by data. We saw that pharma in India has done phenomenally well. If you see, pharma has huge success story. Today, India has over 20 or 30 companies with 1,000 crore plus business potential. India is a pharma hub for the world, making India for the world, right? You know that.
Yeah.
If you see, medical devices has not done that. There is a lot of scope in medical devices, and we believe very strongly that medical devices will follow the guidelines, will follow the journey what pharma has done. Today, if you see in medical devices, there are companies which you can count on your fingers who are 1,000 crore plus. Within medical devices space, we have again scanned, researched cardiac, ortho, and other specialties. We found that advanced wound care and aesthetics is one wide space where there is not a single Indian company which has done to the level where people have done in ortho or cardiac. So we thought with a lot of policy level interventions, with a lot of import substitutions, this particular white space we can really create impact, and that's the reason we reached here.
Now I have a question which is slightly from a different perspective. On our channel there are a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs who look at this and look at successful people like you who've cracked something. What do you think is the ideal way to put a finger on a problem and say that this is what we should solve?
We have to see 2-3 things before we choose on what we want to do, right? First is it has to be a large market enough, right? We can't, there's no point going into a small market.
Yeah.
Because the impact will be proportionately less, right? Number one. Number two, whatever you're doing, whether healthcare or not healthcare, it has to solve significant unmet need for someone.
Yeah.
Without that, again, beyond a point, you can't scale.
Yes.
Right? I think these two things are the most important things. The rest is the execution, which you need to be very, very close to your customer. For example, in our case, it's ultimately the patient. If we are not, as a founder, talking day in, day out to the patient and working on our customer satisfaction, I think we'll miss out somewhere and we'll not even know where did we miss out.
Great. So let's zoom in a little more on MedVital, and we would like to understand how big is the company, how many people are there, what are your core products, who are your core customers. So if you could just throw some light on that.
Yeah, two of us started I think 2 years back, and today we are 100 plus people organization working in almost over 20 cities.
Okay.
We are able to serve patients across all the premier institutions. I feel absolute pride in telling that we are there inside every private corporate hospital you name, whether it is Apollo, Max, Medanta, NH, Manipal, Esther. We are there in so many premier government institutions like AIMS, not only AIMS Delhi, but we are there in almost 7 to 8 AIMS. We are there in various ESIC hospitals, various railway hospitals, providing services to these customers. The primary customers we have are plastic surgeons and dermatologists, extending to few more specialties like orthopedics, general surgeons and vascular surgeons who either treat the wounds themselves or they refer to plastic surgeons.
Yeah.
And we have two important problem statements that we are catering to. One is the hard to heal wounds. For that we have NoWound as a brand, and aesthetics part of skin, for which we have Eliara as a brand. For NoWound we have three main technical products. One is negative pressure wound therapy. Second is chitosan based liquid bandage, and third is the extracellular matrix.
Okay.
These are in the continuum of care, takes care of the complex wound at the stage it is.
Okay.
Right? And in the aesthetics part of it, we have one innovative product focusing on hair restoration, and another product which improves the skin quality. Both of these are again peptide based innovative products.
So when you say product,
Yeah.
you mean these are tangible products or services or certain patented technology that you have?
They are patented products,
Okay.
but one of these, like NPWT, we offer product along with service as well.
Okay.
But other products are
Pure
tangible products.
Tangible products.
Innovative, either patented or off patent, but innovative products.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier that you zoomed in and you saw that this problem is not getting solved in India. So you came in 2024. How was it getting solved before that?
Very, very good question. Let me take hard to heal wound as a problem statement, right? And just take one indication of hard to heal wound, which is diabetic foot ulcer. Everyone knows that India is a diabetic capital.
Yeah.
Over 100 million people in India today are suffering from diabetics.
Yes.
And this number is increasing at a very high rate.
Yeah.
Out of these 100 million people, you will be surprised to know that every fourth person having diabetics has a risk of developing diabetic foot ulcer. This diabetic foot ulcer, by the way, can even start with a normal nail bite.
Okay.
And this can reach to stage 5 in as less as 2 weeks without the patient even knowing that. Because in diabetic foot,
scary to hear.
it's absolutely scary. And out of the people who are developing the diabetic foot ulcer, every fifth person carries a real risk of amputation. Today, there are so many limbs getting amputated because of diabetic foot ulcer, which are actually preventable. This has become epidemic.
Okay.
And to your question, how was it getting resolved? There are traditional dressings available. There are advanced wound care available. It's not that we have introduced for the first time. We are introducing it to solve for accessibility, because it needs a lot of education. It needs a lot of interventions to take to places where it is not even accessible for various reasons, right? But given that introduced at early stage, this has the potential of saving a limb, which is equivalent to a livelihood.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. I mean, that's fantastic. If you're able to save a limb for a man with your patented technologies, I think you're doing a great service.
Yeah.
And you're not only solving an economic problem, you're solving a social crisis and a family crisis that it may lead to, right?
Absolutely. And these technologies, government is absolutely acknowledging that, and all of these advanced technologies, I'm telling, it is approved in all the government schemes. I mean, in Ayushman Bharat, you take CGHS, ECHS. These are approved, which means that government has acknowledged that this has become an epidemic.
In your industry, and let's say if we zoom in further and double click on your kind of product or company or service that you're providing today, what do you think about the government service or government's support, which can probably help you scale much faster and much bigger?
See, on three fronts, I think government currently has done phenomenally well. On first front, I think government has started some kind of financial schemes for startups like us, at which capital is available at a decent rate of interest, I would say. Right, number one. Number two, policy level interventions, like I mentioned earlier, putting some kind of import restrictions, giving preference to make in India product in government tenders, huge.
That has helped you?
Support. Absolutely, absolutely. And number three, solving for the payer, the most important thing, right? Because if it is covered under Ayushman Bharat and other state and national level schemes, this solves for the payer, which is the biggest intervention for startups like us, I'd say.
Great. So now you've recently been funded as well, right? Who are the investors and how's your cap table?
So we have done 2 institutional rounds so far.
Okay.
We started with a couple of closely known healthcare founders, I would say. They believed in 2 of us. They believed in our idea. Backed by an institutional investor called 4.0, Nihar Parikh, who took an exit from his API business Jandu Pharma, and he invested at pre-seed level along with few prominent angels like founders of 1MG, Neelkant Pharma, who is one of the partner at KeyMed, then founder of Suburban Diagnostics invested in us, and founder of Nephroplus invested in us, founder of Astrotalk invested in us. So a couple of prominent angels believed in us.
Great.
Then we recently, it's been a year, not that recent. We also closed another round from Alchemy Growth Ventures.
Series A?
It was pre-series A.
Pre-series A.
Yeah. So they are also healthcare focused fund, and they believed in our idea and helped us scale so far. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Now, it's been 2 years that you've been building this company. What do you think has been the hardest part? Raising capital, building the tech, convincing hospitals and doctors, or something else?
I think unilaterally it is winning doctors' trust, I would say.
Okay. Is it so tough?
It's not tough. It requires consistency. Keeps us on our toes always.
All the time.
Because this is the thing which any kind of marketing can't solve for us, right? Your product being evidence-based is just table stake. Beyond that, you need to really work on getting the clinical outcomes, patient by patient, wound by wound. Getting the consistency repeated in your service, in your product quality, and then work with hospital for adoption, and finally getting the repeat.
While I totally appreciate your point, this thought crossed my mind that all these pharma companies for all these years, they've been trying to solve this, right? Why is it still so tough?
If you take the products from the pharma companies which are actually solving some kind of ailment, which like we have taken up a particular ailment, diabetic foot ulcer, right? It has taken that much of effort for getting doctors evidence. If you go back the journey of a pharma company and take their one of the product in the initial phase, it would not have been possible that doctor started writing the brand and medicine just like that. It needs for a salesperson like us to convince the doctor by showing a lot of clinical evidence, followed by clinical results in terms of positive outcomes. The product needs to have substantial or significant differentiation from whatever product doctor has been prescribing so far. And then consistency on whether it is a supply chain, on whether it is service, or whether it is, I'm saying, the quality of the product itself.
No, totally appreciated. And what I was thinking when you were talking, what I was thinking is a doctor cannot be like an influencer or an actor who will sell you one product and then at the drop of hat he's ready to sell you another product, right?
Absolutely.
So it has to truly be hard nut to crack, right?
Yeah.
Because that's why we trust doctors, because we know that what he is writing we cannot check.
Yes.
And hence he has to check. Then the load is on him.
Absolutely.
To be very sure about what he's writing and has to be evidence based. Totally appreciated. And so how are you solving that problem?
See,
if this is the hardest problem you have?
Absolutely. I mean, see, before we introduce any product in our portfolio, right, it requires significant amount of research that we do on, because we are not someone who do fundamental research at molecule level, right?
Yeah.
We are the ones who solve for accessibility of an innovative technology which is just lying and not being commercialized and made accessible to the potential that technology carries, right? But amongst so many products and technologies, it is up to us to choose, and then we have, that filtering criteria in terms of seeing not only business potential but also clinical evidence. And before even we introduce, we do test it up with closed group of doctors and patients to see whether the technology is actually giving a lot of results after having clinical evidence. I'm saying not at experiment level. I'm saying we're not doing any kind of clinical trials or something. That is not our cup of tea. And that's how we introduce. And then once we introduce our product, it takes a lot of close clinical education activities with so many doctors across different hospitals, and also not only at that level, we have to work at protocol level. You can't make a doctor change his behavior by
Correct.
just having half an hour meeting occasionally with the doctor, right?
Absolutely.
You need to work at a protocol level where it becomes a habit for not only the doctor but his extended team, his peers, his juniors, his nursing team at a hospital level to actually have an impact. That's what we do.
तरुण, मेरे को ना थोड़ा लेमैन की लैंग्वेज में ये समझाइए कि आज हमें जैसे वुंड हो जाए कुछ
जी,
तो हम ये समझते हैं कि उस पर डेटॉल लगाओ, कॉटन बांधो और उसको छोड़ दो, ठीक हो जाएगा.
जी जी.
कुछ ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम आ जाए तो देन यू गो टू डॉक्टर, देन ही विल हैव सर्टन प्रोटोकॉल्स, ड्रेसिंग करेगा, वो सब करेगा, मोस्टली ठीक हो जाएगा. मेडिसिन खाएंगे आप, है ना, वट एवर ही विल गिव यू,
करेक्ट.
हाउ इज़ योर सोल्यूशन डिफरेंट एंड हाउ डज इट वर्क? कैन यू टेल मी इन अ लेमैन्स लैंग्वेज, सिंपल लैंग्वेज,
यस यस,
कैसे काम करता है ये सोल्यूशन आपका?
पहले मैं आपको नेगेटिव प्रेशर वुंड थेरेपी के बारे में बताता हूँ. तो उसको आप समझिए, जब आपने पट्टी बोली ऊपर, गॉज पीस जिसको हम बोलते हैं, आपने अपने जख्म पे वो लगाया, राइट? तो वो कर क्या रहा है बेसिकली? उसने एक वुंड को एक तो कवर कर दिया, और अगर वुंड बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सुडेटिंग है, पस निकल रहा है उसमें से, राइट, तो वो एब्जॉर्ब करेगा और आपको पट्टी बारी बारी चेंज करनी पड़ेगी.
करेक्ट.
अदरवाइज सोक हो जाएगी, स्किन गल जाएगी, राइट?
यस.
तो जो NPWT है, नेगेटिव प्रेशर वुंड थेरेपी, इट इज़ काइंड ऑफ ए मैकेनिकल ड्रेसिंग विच इज़ क्रिएटिंग ए सक्शन, और वो जो पस है उसको मैकेनिकली सक कर रही है. एज सिंपल एज दैट, राइट?
So it looks like a normal dressing only.
Normal dressing नहीं है, it's a medical grade hydrophobic form.
अच्छा,
right?
Okay.
Which doesn't absorb anything in itself, but it creates a medium of transfer of pus because of suction.
Okay.
Through this machine.
Okay.
And this machine, once applied,
okay,
along with this consumables or kit, is running for 24 hours for 3 to 5 days continuously. Because the kind of wounds मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, जिन वुंड्स की, वो आर क्रॉनिक इन नेचर एंड क्वाइट ट्रॉमेटिक वुंड्स,
डिफिकल्ट टू मैनेज,
difficult to heal, bigger wounds, not normal abrasions, normal cuts, right? So that is the mechanism of action. जब आप उस मशीन को लगा के सक्शन क्रिएट करते हैं तो बेसिकली आपने पूरा पस निकाल दिया. जब पस निकाला तो एक तो पूरा इन्फेक्शन बाहर आ गया या आ रहा है, और धीरे धीरे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी हो रहा है. जब आपने किसी को सक किया तो वो श्रिंक हो जाएगा.
बिल्कुल.
तो जब श्रिंक हो रहा है तो अल्टीमेटली वुंड कैन क्लोज.
ओके.
So it is almost 10x faster than putting a normal dressing.
So traditional तरीके से अगर उसी वुंड को डॉक्टर्स ट्रीट कर रहे होते और आप के तरीके से ट्रीट करेंगे तो it's 10x faster.
Absolutely. And this negative pressure wound therapy honestly has become a standard care of treatment now, at least in metros and with certain specialties, and in good tier 2 cities as well. It has become a standard care of treatment.
So apart from you, which is NoWound by MedVital, there are other companies also in this sector who are trying to solve the same problem?
Yes, there is a global leader, of course, 3M.
Okay, 3M. We all know 3M.
Yeah, and there are one or two Indian companies as well.
Companies also.
But the issue is, one, they are focusing majorly on only negative pressure wound therapy, whereas in the continuation of care, you need to work on other products as well. And second is, we have to Indianize a product, right? If I talk about the global leader, they have a fantastic product, fantastic clinical outcome. They are the pioneers, right? Without insulting anyone. I mean, the product which they have is quite bulky, right? Because they made the product for hospital setup. In Indian setup, hospitals don't have enough beds, right? People tend to get discharged, want to get discharged quickly, go home, right? And the kind of wounds I'm talking about, patients at times are also bedridden, right? And so the machine needs to be very portable. So our machine is 1.2 kg vis-a-vis the heavier machine is over 4 kg. So you can imagine how bulky is it, right? It should look aesthetically well. The kind of patients bedridden is already irritated. If something is messy around that patient bed, it will create more irritation, if not less, right? And then machine has to be very easy to operate, because it is not possible every time that a nurse needs to be at patient bedside, right? So it needs to be that easy that at least someone at home can manage the machine with simple kind of operations, right? So that's where we differentiate. And on top of it, all of us are very used to getting things on our fingertips, right? We want absolute predictability of service. We want absolute traceability of what has happened. We have created a layer of CRM, which people have not even thought of in the industry. Today, if any customer, whether doctor's team or a patient directly, books that, okay, I want to get this dressing done, the appointment is booked. It would tell that, okay, so and so person will reach at 2 p.m. at your location. Message will go to the patient, to the applicator, to the doctor, and if someone is there at the customer from the company side also. So there is a complete traceability. Once the dressing is done, obviously doctor would want to know that how was the wound before dressing and after dressing. That's the most important thing. That is documented in the system. It's kind of a procedure. So every medical record needs to be maintained. So full medical record is maintained at the back end. There is no human intervention required. And during the 5 days of therapy, at times it happens that there is some troubleshooting requirement, which can happen at 2 a.m. in the night or 2 p.m. in the day. And if there is a absolute tracking of ticketing system with complete transparency that, okay, the ticket is closed in X number of minutes, this is what we want as a consumer, right?
That's a very interesting point you raised, Tarun, because while listening to you, I was thinking you're bringing the element of B2C in a largely opaque system. So, for example, when we imagine hospital or when we imagine healthcare, specifically hospital care, then, while there are doctors and there would be evidence and, things like that, but this kind of service or traceability or transparency, I would say, we've not seen earlier. So, do you think this is the trend and this is what people expect and this is where industry is going right now?
Absolutely, I am totally convinced to that. See, even though our products are strictly used by doctor's prescription, doctors are our primary customers, right? But ultimately, beneficiary is the patient, and patient is
asking all this.
Is a normal consumer like you and me.
Correct.
He wants everything perfect with complete traceability and transparency, and doctor also wants to give these services to their patients. Doctor is the most happiest person when the patient is at comfort. See, when the patient is in the hospital, it is in the absolute supervision of doctor. But once the patient goes home, it is out of that secure system. But doctor wants best of the best care for his patient. He doesn't want that patient to come back with some kind of infection. And these services and assurances and gives kind of a credibility and assurance to the doctor that the patient is in the right hands.
जो problem आप solve कर रहे हैं, the way you're explaining, it looks like sky is the limit for you, right? So in your journey of 1 to 100, where have you reached? You've come from 0 to 1.
Yeah.
Now for that big leap, अभी कहाँ क्या लगता है कहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं अभी इस journey में? कितना काम बाकी है?
I think abhi to it's long way for us, as you mentioned, because there are many institutes and within an institute there are many specialties, right? And wound is a normal ailment which across specialties it cuts across specialties.
Yeah.
And with chronic diseases like diabetics, this is going to go up only. This is one part of the business, and second, which I talked about aesthetics. Huge potential, I would say, huge.
So अभी आपके business split में how much is coming from this NoWound and how much is coming from the aesthetic part?
See, aesthetics brand, which I mentioned, Eliara, we just launched in the month of April, like 2 months back. So this has just started, but the early trends are very encouraging, I would say, because
So people are getting more and more conscious and aware, and brands like Traya have actually made way for
yeah,
a lot of brands who can come and now, you know,
yeah. But we have
bring
kind of
disruption.
differentiated from kinds of Traya, because Traya is more of
more of B2C direct customer.
B2C, and
You're more towards the doctor, and you want
100%
to
in
route your journey through the
Yes.
doctor.
All the products in Eliara are doctor administered.
Okay.
None of the products are self application or over the counter products.
Tomorrow, if you get tempted that I have the technology, I have the know-how,
Yeah.
I have the people, I have a doctor as a co-founder, I have everything.
Yes.
Why don't I straight away go to consumer?
Brilliant question.
You don't have that
Sriwant, brilliant
temptation?
question. See, beyond a certain level, we have 3 bigger areas of growth, which at least we have a vision that it will happen. One is we go overseas, right? We have all the right cards to go overseas, right?
Yeah.
It just needs time and investment. Number one. Number two, as you correctly mentioned, once we have B2B, especially with these technologies, there are products which are absolutely relevant for B2C over the counter products.
And also today, customers are absolutely receptive to anything which is new and has clinical evidence and something which is backed by a doctor and things like that, right?
But why we chose to be in the B2B segment? Because we need to establish the brand as a clinically driven brand, and once the brand is established in maybe few months or few years of time, at that time, if we introduce a B2C brand, direct or D2C brand, it carries a lot of credibility.
Yeah.
You track the journey of few aesthetics brand, for example, if I quote Gladerma, right? You might have used Cetaphil, right? But if you see their journey, they might not have introduced Cetaphil when they started. They might have introduced a doctor-focused, prescribed-based product, right? Once you develop the credibility of the brand, that it's a clinically driven brand, then it makes all the sense to develop and introduce a D2C product. We have, incidentally, one of the product in our NoWound portfolio, which is a chitosan-based liquid bandage. You don't need, any assistance to apply. It can be applied from a normal abrasion to second-degree burn. It's a fantastic patented product, but we have consciously kept it as only prescription-based product, even though it is, available for purchase on Tata 1mg platform. But still, we have consciously kept it as prescription-based product. We could have, in the urge of selling to many more customers, we could have introduced to as a OTC product, but we have not done that.
Now, I want to zoom out a little and look at this industry, healthcare industry. You've been associated with this industry for quite some time now, right? Through different companies that you were part of. Where do you see this industry going, and how do you think it has changed in last one decade?
Healthcare industry per se has been growing, in my knowledge, for last 12 and 15 years at a very, very healthy CAGR, I would say. But the dimensions of the industry has really changed after COVID. It has given a lot of food for thought, not only for consumers, for patients, but also to the policymakers, right? To invest in the, I would say, make in India technologies, because once such kind of epidemic happened, I think most of the technologies beyond a point India could not import. There was no accessibility. Everyone was having shortage, right? And that has changed the dimensions of the healthcare industry, and moreover after Ayushman Bharat, more and more insurance penetration, and because of COVID, people got aware about taking healthcare insurance, which solves for the payer problem in general. Right? Otherwise, people tend to, postpone the treatment. Right? People becoming more and more aware about the prevention part of it. Right? Once the issue has happened, it takes so much of stuff to get things on the normal track, right? It is always better to prevent it at first place.
Yeah.
Right? That it means that primary care is improving and taking its place which is due.
Yeah.
Right, but it is, I think, still there's a long way to go.
Yeah. What is your vision from 5 years from now?
The next 5 years, so ultimate vision is we want to be the best wound care company.
Okay.
And
You want to focus on that narrow niche and be the absolute best there in that
absolutely,
segment, right?
without a doubt. We want to be the best in the wound care and best in the minimally invasive aesthetics part of it.
Okay.
And of course, it would need to introduce a couple of more innovative products to cover the adjoining ailments as well. So
Yeah.
we are working on few innovative products to solve chronic dermatology. There are few issues like psoriasis, a few chronic other issues of dermatology that we want to focus on. It's very clear that at least for next 5 years we want to keep focus on skin as an organ, and then probably we'll think that whether we should take up any other specialty or any other organ to focus on, right? But yes, we will definitely bring more and more innovative products, and some work is going on these as well.
Great. Now, I have a question. While India has produced world-class doctors, but I think relatively less number of globally recognized medical tech companies or companies like 3M. Why do you think that has happened?
For 2-3 reasons, I would say. First primary reason is India has traditionally been a service-oriented company. So the focus has always been on the healthcare delivery.
Delivery, yeah.
India, there is a lot of medical value tourism you might have heard of, right? People from overseas come to India for get themselves operated for various issues, right? Because for healthcare delivery, I think we have done very well,
Yeah.
right? But it's to do with a lot of mindset shift, right? India has so far not a manufacturing or
Innovation hub nahi ban paya abhi.
nahi bana abhi, right? But after COVID, things have changing. Like I mentioned, government has really recognized the limitations of being the manufacturing in India, right? They have done some policy changes. They have brought a Medical Devices Act, making it, separating it out from cosmetic drugs and cosmetics act, right? Then introducing a lot of PLI schemes, make in India interventions, import restrictions, right?
Yeah.
So all these interventions are required to push people in India. It's not that we have huge talent across, right? It was just a little mindset shift and little push from government which it would take, and that's the primary reason.
But you see that the shiny days are coming,
Absolutely.
right?
I've just mentioned, I think, sometime back that pharma has done phenomenally well, right? And we very strongly
Indian
believe,
pharma companies are doing very well globally also, right?
right? Medical devices is bound to follow pharma trails. I am beyond any doubt on that.
You think there are brands in India which have the potential to become global brands and
Oh yes.
compete with them, right?
Yes, absolutely.
In this sector, if there are people looking at you and listening to this podcast, do you think there are certain pockets where new companies can come and bring innovation, or there are areas which are still underserved where there's an opportunity?
I think yes, but the only thing is doing the innovation and commercializing it.
Two different
They are
things.
two different, equally important hats. In our journey, we have seen that they are very good innovators who, fortunately, unfortunately, lack that
Marketing
commercialization
skills,
skills. And at times, that innovation might be good in a in a limited setup, but is not practically, economically accessible to scale. That sometimes could not even see the light.
Yeah.
Right? That's the main issue. So I would suggest such innovators that they should do some kind of market feasibility study in parallel, and making the product commercialization is equally important that they should keep in mind.
But इस sector में, इस industry में,
जी.
you feel that more and more people should come and try and disrupt
Yeah.
things the way they've been happening. Like you've disrupted something that was happening in a certain way. You brought a new product, new service,
जी.
and now you feel that there is a huge scope for you.
Yeah.
So in same way, you feel that there are many other areas where if you zoom in and see,
Yes.
you would find opportunities, and the environment is supportive enough for people, new entrepreneurs to come and disrupt the field.
How we have identified these areas, if you go back and see, we work very, very closely with the clinicians, right? And all the opportunity areas which we have got is from the feedback of clinicians, and we have realized that these are the issues in their daily functions of various treatments they are doing.
Yeah.
Now, it is for people like us to identify the issue and start working on that particular issue, and then continuously iterate, taking the clinician feedback to actually make it perfect.
Excellent. Now, let's zoom in a little on you and try and figure out who Tarun is and what has been his inspiration. Tell me one book that you read and you feel that that's altered your life.
I think undoubtedly Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. What is the most remarkable lesson you got from Bhagavad Gita?
See, whenever you feel that you need any answer to any question, you will get it from there. You just need to, and then all the shlokas mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, you have to take the right inspiration from them, right? And you need to gather the message which you need to gather from there. So for me, I think I would say that this is a book that I would.
One quote that you remember and never forget.
Long way to go before I sleep.
Long way to go before I sleep.
Yeah.
Robert Frost.
Yeah.
One advice that somebody gave you long time back that you still carry in your heart.
I think be close to your customer. Whatever you do in healthcare, FMCG, you need to be closer to your customer, and you need to get the pulse, continuous basis, that what is he liking, not liking, where is he shifting, so that you can continuously innovate and
Iterate.
improvise. Yeah.
One thing India must improve to become a global healthcare innovation hub.
I think investment in R&D, a lot of encouragement to innovators. Government has started doing that, but I think speed can be improved in that. Yeah.
One healthcare myth people still believe.
They feel that advanced wound care is very costly. I would say. But
It's not?
It's not actually.
But how would people know? So for example, if I were to advise somebody that when you go to hospital for this problem, you ask the doctor to choose NoWound by MedVital, would it be feasible and practical and possible?
No. Medical Act doesn't allow us to market the medical technology. Right?
Okay.
And we can't expect patient to ask this also. That would be wrong. It's about creating awareness and incorporating these technologies at
the doctor
medical
level.
education level. And that's the problem with the kind of burden our doctors are already having, and they are not exposed to such technologies in the regular medical education, right? It is through various conferences and continual medical education that they are exposed to, which means that people like us, and with some kind of support from government, we have to make these aware as much as possible, so that clinicians are the one who recommend to the needy, and there is a payer who is solving that, whether it is insurance or some kind of government schemes.
But that you brought me to a very interesting point, which I wanted to ask you earlier, is what do you think about the ratio of people vis-a-vis doctors in India? Is it good, bad, very bad?
I think it is very bad currently. If you see the promotion, I am not remembering the exact statistics, but I think whatever number of people per doctor that should be as per the recommendation of WHO, we are out by a huge margin, I would say. as per, I mean, some kind of WHO's recommendation, let's follow that.
If not MedVital, what would Tarun Bansal be doing today?
Healthcare is certain, I think, for me, that I've chosen
Building some
consciously.
other solution.
I would be building something in the healthcare, if not MedVital, yes.
One entrepreneur / founder / business person you admire, and why?
I think Narayan Murthy I would choose, because when he thought of solving for technology, it was not in the mainstream. He took something innovative at that time and challenged status quo and still built a $1 billion business. So from that perspective, I get a lot of inspiration and motivation that, at times you have to take your calling, which might not be the easiest path, but it will have some impact, if not today, in some span of time.
Tarun, what is one message you would like to give to everyone who's seeing this podcast? Something that you would like them to remember from being a healthcare industry insider?
I think from the chronic wound standpoint, since diabetics is prevailing like anything, India is the diabetics capital, or diabetic foot ulcer has become an epidemic because significant amount of people are ultimately ended up having amputations, right? And these are preventable. So उनको अपने फुट का खास ध्यान रखना चाहिए और कंटिन्यूस मॉनिटरिंग इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड आई वुड थ्रू योर मीडियम एक सजेशन देना चाहता हूँ कि यार मतलब अपने वॉशरूम्स में वी शुड डेफिनेटली इंस्टॉल नॉर्मल मिरर, ताकि हम जब मॉर्निंग कॉल के लिए जा रहे हैं और WC पे बैठे हुए हैं, कॉन्शियसली अनकॉन्शियसली अपने फीट को मॉनिटर करें.
ये इतना इम्पोर्टेंट है?
एब्सोल्युटली. एक हम अपने नेल्स काटते हैं नेल कटर से, राइट? एक नॉर्मल अगर हमने नेल काटा और डायबिटिक पेशेंट को उससे जख्म हो गया, तो यू कांट इवन इमेजिन दैट वो एक छोटा सा जख्म कैन बिकम ए गैंग्रीन, विच इज स्टेज 5 इशू इन अ डायबिटिक फुट अल्सर. उसके बियॉन्ड फिर पीछे जाना पॉसिबल नहीं है. एम्पुटेशन इज द ओनली सोल्यूशन. लेकिन अगर आपने देखिए जख्म हो सकता है, इंटेंशनली अनइंटेंशनली जख्म हो सकता है. डायबिटिक्स अगर पेशेंट है किसी को, तो देन दिस नीड्स टू बी टेकन केयर ऑफ एट वेरी अर्ली स्टेज. डोंट इग्नोर इट.
ओके.
Go to a specialist. Discuss with your endocrinologist, with your physician, whomsoever you're taking diabetics medicine.
This is something I think most of us don't know.
Very simple solution. I mean, we have to access to this at an early stage is what I would recommend.
Great. Thank you so much for giving this very valuable knowledge. I really appreciate that. I think people who are listening would find it very useful. Now, last but not the least, what is it that you would like to tell founders, aspiring founders, people who are sitting on fence, who are looking at you and thinking that this gentleman had experience in corporate, then he's building something, he's ahead in the journey, and they are, imagining a similar journey and similar trajectory like yours? What would you like to tell them before they take the plunge?
See, I would recommend 3 things majorly that any entrepreneur, before they take the plunge, they should definitely consider it. One is, whatever they choose to do, it has to have a significant market size, right? Which means that it has to be some data backed, not only emotions. See, emotions are integral part of any decision making, but it has to be data backed. Number 1. Number 2, whatever we decide to do, it should be solving some kind of a unmet need, right? बनाने को हम कुछ भी बना सकते हैं, and it might become a successful business as well, but आज की डेट में startup हम बोलते हैं which is creating some kind of a differentiation and solving some kind of an unmet need. And finally, whatever we choose or solve, that should be economically accessible to scale. Otherwise वो एक
छोटे से दायरे में रह जाएगा.
हाँ जी, अपने मतलब घर में ही सोल्यूशन बन के रह जाएगा.
Thank you so much for sharing your nuggets of wisdom, Tarun. Such a pleasure to meet you.
Same here. Thank you.
And I wish you great luck, and I hope to see you again with MedVital becoming a unicorn.
Thank you.
And I wish all that luck to you. Thank you so much.